Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Aetherdrift Draft here on the channel. Huge shout out to Wizards of the Coast for the free preview account in this early access event so I could get this recorded for you early. We're going to go pick by pick, play by play, talk through everything so you know what to do when you draft this format yourself. And I already have a draft guide made, so if you're interested, you can find that on my channel. Top commons, archetype overviews, things like that. Our rare is quite strong. It's a 1-drop menace that has the start your engines mechanic. So if you have no speed, your speed goes to 1. And then because this has menace, it's really hard to block in the early turns. And then so it can help build up your speed by hitting your opponent, and then eventually gains double strike, and it can pump itself at any time. So that's really a good card. We're going to be first picking that card. Other cards that I really like in this pack are Spike Shell Harrier. This is a really strong uncommon for helping you stabilize with a slower deck, because you can take your opponent off of max speed if they have it by reducing their speed by 1, bounces one of their permanents so it can get you a tempo advantage, and then it has a nice body itself to help you stabilize. So I like the Spike Shell Harrier too. And then once you get to the commons, I like the Burner Rocket. It's a 2-drop flash vehicle that can give your creature trample and +2/+0, so you can keep connecting with your opponent to build up your speed and also then be crewed up and be a 3/1 itself. So I'm really happy with the Burnout Bastronaut. I would take Spike Shell Harrier second and then Burner Rocket third out of this pack. Okay, pick 2, we already have some choices, which I'm happy with. So first up, there is the Gastel Raider. So it's a 3-drop, another kind of start your engines card. And when you get max speed, it also gains menace, and you can take an instant or sorcery from your opponent if they have one, they reveal their hand. So that's an option. There's also Broadside Barrage. So it's a nice blue-red card, deal 5, draw a card, discard a card. So a nice synergy piece. And then there's also Leonin Surveyor as a 2-drop that also has start your engines, that when you get max speed, it can be exiled for card advantage, and then you can get first strike on your turn. The card that I'm going to take is the Gastel Raider here. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to play a black-red max speed aggro deck, but this card's going to be really good in that deck, help me take away my opponent's removal spells or their interaction. And also just it's a strong individual card, so maybe I have to move away from red. Maybe red's not open, and I still just get a nice black card that I can build around and be fairly happy playing in any black deck. Now, there is also like Nimble Thopterist as a blue common, but early turns here, we're going to be pretty happy just starting off with a nice red rare into a nice black card and seeing where we can take that. Okay, so our rare in this pack is Bloodghast. It's really hard to cast this in the early turns. It's a card that you can play if you have a bunch of vehicles to crew and you want some recursive threats and you're kind of aggressive, but overall I think it's kind of not great because it's just hard to cast, and in limited, being able to block is important because if you're on the draw, you need to be able to block your opponent's threats a lot of the time. Other than that, there is Slick Imitator. So if you can get to max speed, this card can do some serious work. You can like copy like a 4-drop for 1 mana and get like 2 4-drops, things like that. So that's really good if you can get that going, but that's kind of hard to do. Blue is a little bit slower generally. There's Sky Crash for killing artifacts on the cheap and having cycling. There is Gear Seeker Serpent. There's also Mutant Surveyor. This is a tricky pick. The Wicker Folk. I think I'm going to take the Lotus Guard Disciple. This is kind of my favorite card in this pack. The reason I like this card is lifelink and indestructible means that you can enable a big attack, and the life gain swing can really change the game into your favor. And we could totally be a black-white deck, a red-white deck, or a black-red deck still. Here we see our rare Duretti. Duretti's hard to use, though, because there's not a ton of huge artifacts to cheat into play. And so generally, like, you're paying 5 mana for a card that's going to be like a 3/5 or a 4/5, and maybe you can get back something that's a little bit better of an upgrade, but it's kind of hard to use. There is Grim Bauble in this pack, which is going to be my pick. Early interaction is really nice. You can kill your opponent's threat, either as a defensive deck to try and buy yourself time, or as an aggressive deck to try and push your attacks and damage. So I like this card as an early pick. There is also Voyage Home. It's really far from where we are right now, though I guess not that far because we do have 1 white card. But we would ideally be able to play kind of an aggressive deck to leverage our red card that we first picked. But Voyage Home is a draw 3, gain 3, so that's a nice little stabilization tool. Okay, so red has not seemed open. We'll be clear about that so far. Red has not seemed open. We are seeing a little bit of black, though. Grim Javelineer, target attacking creature gets +1/+0. When it dies, Surveil 1. So it's like a nice little buff for any of your attacking creatures. It can attack as a 4/2 itself, but a lot of the time you're going to want to be buffing up your flyers or your evasive creatures or things like that. Or it's good with Menace. Ticket Tortoise might be a really nice card because being on the draw has felt pretty brutal so far. So this could be like the sort of card that your defensive decks are happy playing because you just kind of need those resources. Streaking Oil Gorger, nice top end card. I think I want to take the Javelineer though. Try that out as an option. It's kind of close. This card's interesting, but I think cheap spells get the nod for me currently. Wow. Not that one. This one. Wow. This is a really good card for a blue-green deck. And 3/5 is just huge stats. Vigilance is huge. Exhaust abilities gives you some time by getting you some cards to use. Could we be a controlling blue-black deck that wants like Midnight Mangler? That's the question we ask ourselves. We kind of have set ourselves up. This is more of an aggressive card. But we could take Maximum Overdrive, just keep ourselves flexible, which I think we'll do. Give ourselves a little bit more time. But blue is maybe looking a little bit open. I mean, this is a terrible rare, so Mangler, mostly the blue-black land. There's a little bit of green in there as well. Ooh, nice. So I like this card a lot. Ripclaw Wrangler, 4 mana, 4/3. It enters each opponent discards a card, getting yourself some value. So currently we're in a really good spot because we know we're playing black and we can kind of go any direction from there. The Light Wheel enhancements could be the sort of card we want in a black-white max speed deck. Low discard Disciple can fit there. Red has not seemed open. But one of the things is if red is not open pack 1, we are not seeing a lot of red. So the person to our left that we're passing to is also not seeing a lot of red. So that means that we could be in a position where we could do a pack 2 switcheroo and get into red pack 2 and then just accept that it's going to be closed pack 3 because we're deep enough into black. So we'll see what our options look like here. Whoa, Spikeshell Harrier came all the way back. That's crazy. That, I mean, it's not even pick 9. It would have been wheeled. We haven't even seen this one. This is pick 8 Spikeshell Harrier. I really like this card. So this is a bit of a shock to me. So maybe that could be a setup for a nice control deck from us then. Ripclaw Wrangler's value. Gastel Raider's value. This is a nice tempo play. I mean, Slick Imitator's also nothing to scoff at. 2 mana, 1/3 is a bit small, but Spikeshell Harrier is really good. And did we wheel the other one? No, we did not, but we did wheel Burner Rocket. Interesting. That is very interesting. Well, we're going to take it here. I think it's the best card, even though there is a Glitch Ghost Surveyor and there's also a Ticket Tortoise. We already talked about the Tortoise, but the Surveyor. There's also a Mutant Surveyor, which I think is a reasonable card for just a black deck because the threat of activation makes it kind of scary. But I think Burner Rocket is better than the Mutant Surveyor. And I would like to play the Burnout Bastronaut. Wow. Nimble Thopterist. So we're going to leave our options open to going black, red, or blue, black. Those are the kind of options we're leaning towards. We could, I guess, go white if we get a really good rare. Oil Gorger, I think, is a little bit hard to use because if you have max speed, you don't care about the lifelink because you're kind of pressuring your opponent. It's kind of good if you're like both getting max speed, but I think the Thopterist is better. 2 bodies, 1 card. Okay, now there's a Wreckage Wicker Folk. A little bit small. 1/3 is not the biggest. I might take the Ticket Tortoise. If I'm a controlling blue-black deck, I think I'd like to have the Ticket Tortoise. Ticket Tortoise. Ticket Tortoise. And if I have some vehicles, I can crew them up. So it can crew like my Ripclaw Wrangler or something. So it can still be used somewhat aggressively. Okay. Push the Limit. Not my favorite. Guidelight's definitely not my favorite, though. We'll take the Push the Limit. We have a couple vehicles already. We could do some sort of combo-y thing. We're fine passing a green card last pick. Okay, green maybe. Have some stuff. Okay, so going into pack 2, what are we looking for? Well, for starters, we're going to see very early on if we can make the pack 2 switcheroo to play red. We have 2 red cards, but blue was looking quite open. We got the late Thopterist and the Spikeshell Harrier. We also get a last pick Gibberick, but mostly we're going to be taking good black cards when we see them, so nothing crazy in this pack. This card's a fine black card, but nothing crazy. And then we're going to be taking either blue or red cards, presumably. Unfortunately, not blue and red. Fearless Swashbuckler is pretty cool. And nice art. But I think we're just going to take another Spikeshell Harrier and then lean towards this kind of controlling side of things. Because you really want to have these like top-end plays that are also tempo-oriented if you are going to be a slower deck, I think. Because we already have some nice little value attached to creatures. We don't have any early drops, though, really. I'm not going to take the gamble on trying to wheel that guy. Okay, so now we see that there is... So in this pack, as far as black cards go, there is, I think, Foul Roads being the best one. Gives me, like, a land that can also be a little utility. In terms of red cards, there's the Adrenaline Jockey, Apocalypse Runner. But I think we're just going to take the foul roads. We don't see anything so good that we have to switch into red for it. And red was so not open pack 1 that we'll just accept our fate and draft our blue-black deck here fairly happily. Okay, we'll take the Pack Stall Terror now. I like this card because it gives you a little bit of life gain. We have some artifacts to curve into it, and I think the life gain could really matter for this blue-black deck. Ether Siphon is just a really slow card, and I'm really trying to avoid those currently. Okay. The Marshall's Path Cruiser. We could also just take a Siphon Fuel or a Bounce Off. I think I'm going to just take Siphon Fuel. Kill spell, life gain. Better than the Scrap Compactor, I think. Bounce Off is a fine option, but we already have a couple bounce spells anyway that are better. Oh my gosh. What you doing to me, draft? I mean, this card's messed up. Yeah, it's pretty great. It's like a 2-mana make a dragon. I mean, not 2-mana make a dragon. 2 mana, then you pay 4 to make a dragon. Oh, gosh. Or I could just take Locust Spray or Surveyor. I'm not going to take another one of these. I'll speculate on this. I have a couple of really good red rares now. Now I'll take Spin Out. This is one of the benefits, though. I only have 3 blue cards, and I have 3 red cards, so I don't have to be blue. I can just play these, like, powerful red cards, and, like, my black cards are somewhat geared towards value. Like, they're not all perfect for an aggressive deck, but some of them can do double duty. Spin Out's a good removal spell, though. This is interesting. Now I can take this, or I can take Engine Rat. It's a little bit more aggressive. Plays pretty well with Grim Javelineer. I think I'll just take the Engine Rat, though. I'm still towing the line between what colors I'm playing. I think Engine Rat's going to be fine in either version of this deck. Okay. Now I'll take a Burner Rocket number 2. I like Burner Rocket a lot. I think it's just good. Pedal to the Metal. And I think my 2 best cards are this Engineer and the Burnout Bastronaut right now. So I'm willing to be able to be like, okay, I got 2 Spike Shell Harriers, sure. And I took a couple of like weaker black cards, maybe over some red cards I could have taken, but I think I'm getting enough red that I'm back on the switch plan. And I don't really need to worry about making playables. I've already got plenty of those. Fuel the Flames is a card I might want to try. There's a Bounce Off. I guess I could just take the Bounce Off. I feel like Fuel the Flames could do some stuff. I have some vehicles. Maybe I end up in a situation where I'm on the back foot. Lots of green cards here. Greenbelt Guardian, Sky Serpent Seeker, Web Strike Elite. Lots of green, but take the Overdrive. Overdrive plays really well with Trample, so it's like a cool little combo with Burner Rocket. You can use both to push some damage. I'll take the Pace Setter Paragon over the Thunderhead Gunner. I think Thunderhead Gunner is pretty good, though. It's very expensive at 5, but I think this guy's maybe a little bit better. I'm not even sure, though. This card might just be a trap. It just looks kind of good. It can hit for some huge amounts of damage. And plays great with Burner Rocket in the mid-turns. Because double strike plus that. Oh my gosh, another Burner Rocket. Sign me up. We're burning! We're turning and burning. We're burning and turning. Okay. So 3 Burner Rockets. Kind of changes the way I want to approach the last pack. I just want anything that can attack early. Okay. There's not a single card in this pack in black or red that can attack early. Except there's the Engine Rat. I didn't see him. Engine Rat plays decently with Burner Rocket. 3 Burner Rockets. I think I'm just like Carry On Cruiser, though. Nice little value play. My black-red deck might be not turbo speed. It might just be more of a kind of value speed. 8 creatures. Yikes. But I have a lot of vehicles, so my creatures might be leveraged pretty decently. And Fuel the Flames could actually be okay with all these vehicles. Gosh, I have a lot of vehicles. Like, I have 5 vehicles. Could this be the Push the Limit deck? My time to shine? Okay, this card's perfect for me. Deathless Pilot. Actually amazing. Oh my gosh, the blue switcheroo. Oh, if I'd still been blue, I would have gotten the Moo Yangling. And maybe even wheeled like Haunt the Network. Sorry for hovering them too fast, but Moo Yangling's pretty great. Get a vehicle, get the Moo, get some card draw. Haunt the Network gets you a lot of life. And some 1/1s. Deathless Pilot is just too perfect for me, though. When you have 5 vehicles and just need a way to crew them consistently, Deathless Pilot's amazing. I also love Night Market. Tactile Terror is like a nice little way to deal some damage, maybe, but... Okay. I think I'll take the Goblin Surveyor now. Over Chitin Gravestalker and Grim Javelineer. I could also take Sky Crash. How's my removal looking? I got that removal spell. Bobble. I got some kill spells. Let's just take a 3-drop maybe. Do I even need a 3-drop though? My 3-drop slot's pretty decent already. I'll take Sky Crash. I want to get more reps with that card. See if it's any good. Well, this card makes me want to have more speed. Makes me kind of regret passing that speed guy, but maybe I'll get another one. I don't think it's a huge loss. This card's great. At the beginning of your end step, you make it 2/2. So if you can deal some damage, which I'm pretty good at pushing some damage, then we're going to be in good shape. Wicker Folk. I actually like this card in my deck because it can let me turn my random vehicles into a stream of 4/3 creatures. Like, if I have a random burner rocket in this guy, I can just cast this thing a couple times. I wouldn't mind Pedal to the Metal. The Wicker Folk might be fine. And I like Rangers Refueler. Sorry I'm hovering over the card so fast. I realize now just what I did, but yeah. So this card is like an exhaust payoff. You draw a bunch of cards. This card's like an evasive guy. Pedal to the Metal is a combat trick that you can just pump a bunch of mana to in the late game. This card's pretty crazy if I was green and could cast it. Marshall's Path Cruiser. I'm not going to be splashing in this deck. I'm going to just take the risky shortcut. Maybe I would take the Ticket Tortoise. I already have one of those, though. Wow, Winter. Wow, I could have had a sweet blue-black deck. I definitely could have had a sweet blue-black deck. It's funny because if I, outside of my rares, I definitely was going to go blue-black. I would have had a pretty good deck, I think, but... Okay, we get that guy. Kill spell or Pedal to the Metal. I'll just take another kill spell. I already have a lot of combat tricks with the burner rockets. Or do I take a Thunderhead Gunner? I'll take a Thunderhead Gunner, I think. And now I get a rat. Perfect. Yeah, I did wheel that card. I knew it would happen. I don't need those, so I'll just take this guy. I could take a Sarcophagus. Artifact and creature in your graveyard. I kind of want to try this guy. See if he's any good. The mole, no. Take the rare for the collection, I guess. Okay. This was an interesting one. So my max speed payoffs are... That guy's kind of one because getting Menace is a huge deal there. Do I really have any? Oh, that's a huge payoff. Yeah, that actually is a pretty big one. Okay. So this is 17 lands plus this land that can be activated. I've got these guys to make sure I don't flood out. So now we'll just have to figure out what I don't want. Maybe I don't need both maximum overdrives. I'll just play one of those. I don't know if I want Fuel the Flames. I have a lot of small creatures that I can kill of my own, even though it has cycling. Risky Shortcut seems risky, because if I'm on the draw, it just kills me. I got a good number of 2-drops. Siphon feels expensive. Maybe I don't want the second Thunderhead Gunner. Creature count's at 16, so I can probably afford to be fine on that. My kill spells are actually okay. Yeah. I don't know if I want the Sarcophagus. It's kind of a liability in the early turns. I really like my kind of value guys. I feel like Packed Doll Terror is pretty okay. But I guess I don't have a ton of artifacts. I have a decent number. 8 artifacts. Yeah, that's actually a good number of artifacts. Still, I don't think I want it. And then maybe I only play... I think I want as many early drops as I can get, though, pretty much. Except for, like, the bad ones. Like, these are all reasonable cards. I'm going to cut the Grim Javelin here, I think. Like, do I have any more 2-drops I could play? This guy. This guy. This guy might not be terrible, honestly. Yeah. I'm going to try it like this for the first game, and then we'll see what we shall see and whether we'll want to make any changes. Oh, Paragon. Why is Paragon over there? Yeah, I think my deck has some okay stuff going on here. I really am tempted to play this card. No joke. I kind of want to do it over the Overdrive. I'm going to cut the Overdrive and play this guy. I want to try him out. I can sack it to the Wicker Folk. He can block. I can discard him late. Feel like he can crew my stuff. Yeah. We're going to try it like this. Let's dive on into some games. And as we queue up for the first game, I want to take a brief moment to shout out the NicolaiBolas Patreon at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. And special thanks to those who support at the credits level. It makes a big difference. Patrons help me make more videos on a consistent basis with their support, and they gain access to some cool rewards like my card-by-card tier list and my format thoughts document. So yeah, let's get to the games. Nice. On the play. Weird looking hand. Let's see what we shall see. I've been playing 4 games with this deck. I think I said that, but maybe I didn't. Because I want to get as many games as possible in the early access event with as many different decks as possible. And I think that'll be the best way to do it. But if it's 2-2 after the 4 games, I'll play a 5th one as a rubber match so we can see whether the deck is a winner or a loser. Okay, I don't need to actually cycle this guy. I can just play him later. Okay. Burner Rocket is weird in my deck. So we're playing a control matchup, maybe. They've got slow land colors. And the value. Nice. This is not the ideal start for my deck against their deck. Now I will cycle this guy. Because I don't have my 5th land, and yeah, I'm max punished, honestly. But this actually isn't the end of the world, because I can combine this with Burner Rocket to do some work, maybe. Not blocking. Get rid of my land that I don't need. Beautiful. So if they kill this, I do take a bit of damage. Okay, that's fine, actually. Okay, sure. I take a good chunk of damage, actually. Gosh. This is where my greed really has its downside. I'm trying to set up this guy. I'm trying to set up this guy. Okay. I shouldn't have waited. If they have the indestructible trick, I'm just so toasted. Oh, that was a misplay. Could have just killed this guy. Okay. I think I'll let them surveil one. So I can play this guy in and crew this and block this thing. No, this is just way better. No blocks, sure. Gosh, my mana is not lining up the way I wanted, but that's okay. Oh, man. I'm in jeopardy. I died to a kill spell or remove spell. The key turn was when I was deciding whether to kill their 4/4 with this or whether to play my 5-drop to try and block. Because I had 5 mana and 3 options that turn. So this is an encouraging sign, honestly. So if I draw a land, I can play this and this. Oh no. Menace. I'm really hoping this just hits them. I kind of need the max speed right now. And I know they don't have a kill spell. They probably would have killed this guy. Huge. I like that sound effect. So maybe I'm dead, but maybe I'm not. You never know. I'm getting a 2/2 every turn that I can use to block this guy. And next turn, the burner rocket is really good with this guy. Or maybe not even. Yeah, maybe I'll just use it on something else. Oh my gosh. That's not good. Oh, I'm just dead. Okay, sure. Oh, that was tough. Oh, that was such a close loss. I was really in bad shape if they had that 1 kill spell, but having 2 was just gravy. Gosh darn it. Yeah, I did so little in the early turns. Oh man. This card was a bit of a ouch. I'm gonna try one more game like this, and then I'll change things up. But that was tough. Oh, I could have killed their 4/4, and then they might not have been able to kill my 4/5 because they wouldn't have been able to have a big enough creature to punch it, which is always something I should keep in mind against a green deck. I was just thinking of like black removal spells that'll kill it no matter what. But yeah, this format is tricky. There's it feels like the games are pretty compacted, and I make like the value play. Like, okay, I want to get my looter guy down so I can loot away as many lands as possible before they kill it. But then they just killed it instantly, and it was a nightmare. Okay, I'll keep this on the play. I need to draw one land to get the surveyor going. Huge. So I can kill this guy kind of whenever. I'll get my own speed going. I just keep taking the damage. Like, maybe I'm just supposed to learn my lesson and just trade with their guys. Like, they'll play another Grim Bauble target someday. But I'm really trying to stack up so I can get a 2/2 as soon as I play this guy. Ugh. Learning my lesson. I'm gonna use this Surveil too. Because this way I get to actually play this thing at some point. I mean, they're going to have some messed up stuff when they get to max speed, too. Oh, no. I'm going to save up my siphon fuel for that. Actually, kind of nice. Get rid of both those. I actually like my entire hand right now. But I wanted to play a 4/5, get on the board. Because if they get up to max speed, they're going to be able to use this guy to make the mana to play this guy. Jeez, this game is tough. Oh my gosh. Because this thing can hit me for 6. That's a lot of damage. I just have to have my opponent not have a kill spell. Oh no. I fear I'm about to see the Dracosaur. I actually hope they play it. It's kind of obvious that I have something otherwise. If only I could have used this to discard my Deathless Pilot. They're a good player. They're not going to play their guy. I just don't know if I had a better option. I guess I could have played this guy. And then hope they use this, screw it up. Oh no. Actually, this could work out okay for me. Because if they have the indestructible trick, this won't protect them. I had to wait for them to attack so they couldn't crew in response. Deathless Pilot, yep. We're both at max speed, and I'm at 14 and they're at 12, and we both have cards in hand. My Ripclaw Raider might be able to do some work. I mean, Wrangler. I get a double spell next turn. I have this thing. This thing's value. And if they don't kill this guy, I'm going to keep getting some value. Ooh. I knew this guy would be useful. I'm loving you, Ticket Tortoise. Ticket Tortoise, Ticket Tortoise. If I can sack it to get this guy back. And I have this rat now. They definitely don't have a kill spell. Unless they have a board wipe. Oh, please don't have a board wipe. Oh, they have this. Nice. They have infinite mana. Okay. Sure. I thought they might have that card. I'm still at a decent life total. I get to take out their last card from hand. Yes! Oh, we emerge victorious. Oh, it feels so good. I've won a game in Aetherdrift at long last. Oh, that feels amazing. Nice. We're 1-1. Battling for honor and glory. Oh, it feels like the early plays are so essential. Like, it feels so nerve-wracking every time I wanted to hold up mana. The fact that they had the indestructible spell to try to play around my thing really saved me there. I'm going to play one more game with this configuration and then maybe switch things up for the final one, but I'm pretty okay with that. Nice little game right there. Nice little hand here. The Ticket Tortoise. The Ticket Tortoise, is that going to be the NicolaiBolas tech? The Ticket Tortoise. But we'll see. We shall see what we shall see. I'm not sure how good Sky Crash is. I could have played the red card, so I had the option to cycle it. Wait until I have the option to play this once they've already played their land. Blue-green. Blue-green has some artifacts for sure. Oh, that's terrifying. Trying to keep the board clear, kill their guys. I wish I could have killed this, but this isn't a problem just yet. We might have some time to find removal. Okay. That's how it goes. Oh no. Oh no. I'm so toasted. They're just gonna make a flyer. No. Oh my gosh. Killing their death touch. Go, be free. Yep. We're starting to accelerate. They're running low on lands, I guess. I mean, they aren't casting a ton of stuff. And they're only hitting me for 4. He says, only 4. I'm not going to use this. Instant regret. Okay. Really? Oh, they have a combat trick, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna lose this game. Gosh darn it. Played 1, 2, 3 rares. Huh. I played 1 though, so it's even. Mine said it's best on turn 1 though. Gosh. Yep, okay. We are so dead. Huh. I wonder where I went wrong. I don't know if there was anything. I mean, that was a weird game. We have one more game, and if I win that, I'll play the rubber match to see if this deck will get a winning record. tortoise felt pretty nice. I'm going to cut this guy for another 2-drop, I think. Even if that guy's bad, maybe he'll be useful. And hey, maybe I'll get max speed. We'll try things. I'm an experimenter at heart a lot of the time. I mean, I tried the ticket tortoise and it was fine. Gosh, this hand would be so good if I had a mountain. Gosh, I have to mulligan though. So sad. Keep this. Get rid of the ticket tortoise. The hand would have been so good with a mountain. What a shame. Oh, that's a pretty good draw. That is a great draw. Oh my gosh, we're gonna get to go full burnout. Turn and burn. Let's roll. Okay. I'll trade for their guy that's maybe ramping them into some artifacts. They're probably a blue-white deck splashing red. Wow. Turn 3. Wow. Doesn't stop a single one of my attacks, but that's funny. So if I activate this, it'll deal an extra 4 damage. But then I can't activate it again. Whereas if I activate this, it's an extra 2 damage, but I still have the ability to attack with that guy. But if I... I think this is better. So it's about whether or not the damage I would get there. Oh, I would have done 6 extra damage because this would have done first strike and triggered the thing, and then this guy would have done an extra damage from his... No, because he wouldn't have done first strike damage. Okay. Okay. So I'm no longer attacking with the rat. This guy can attack, and this guy can attack. So double strike. And then I can get it back with the carry-on cruiser anyway. So they're almost dead. Like, I kill them with the rat next turn. If I draw a land. That's one of the most shocking no blocks I've ever seen, maybe. Am I dead? No! I can't possibly be dead. Oh my gosh, I was so close. Okay. This is menace. So if I kill one of their blockers, they can't block all my guys and they die, right? No, because they can't. The rat's not good enough. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that's a shame. Oh my gosh. I literally just need a land and this rat wins me the game. This is 5, 9, 12. Gonna kill the Nimble Thopterist. Okay, the game has not lagged out. So I'm going to kill the Thopterist. What is happening? Hello? Did the game crash? Well, that's a shame. Looks like the game crashed. Oh well. Oh man. We'll see if it lets us back in, but I don't think it will. I tried to click the concede button. It didn't even work. Not much to say here. I guess new game time. We'll count that one as a win. I guess we can't really, but I was going to win that game. Weird. At least it didn't count as a loss. Easy keep. Not a great hand. My deck, I've realized, needs more early creatures. I'm glad I made the swap for the Tomb guy. Like 1-drop, 2-drop is what I need to be doing. It is free combat. Build up the speed. Like, I feel like my opponent's already lost the game. Like, there's almost... It feels like there's no really recovery mechanic they could have. Especially if they're playing at 2-2. Okay, so they have Harrier. That's pretty good to know about. Thopterist, Flood the Engine. Okay, that gave it their kill spell. I'm fine trading my Death Toucher for their guy. I'm going to get a 2-2 if they don't do something. Do some damage, build up my speed. They play the Harrier, sure. They get to bounce my guy, but the Harrier is going to be good, but I can kill it and gain my speed back. Wow, they get rid of that guy. Huh. Loses all abilities is pretty bad for me. That was a really bad play by me. Oh my gosh, that was horrible. I could have attacked them. They can't block. Oh my gosh. I forgot like the whole point of this guy. I could attack and just, they never can block. Could have done a free extra 2 damage. I got lost in the sauce. But now they can't attack me for 4. To build up their speed, which is, I guess, helpful. Or I guess they could build it up with this thing. And I was trying to bait out that spell, I'll be honest. So they have to make this trade now. But it wouldn't have mattered. I could have had the speed from this guy the last turn. Very good to know. It is interesting as well because I have this guy. Oh, Chandra. Okay. I really need to land. So I kill their vehicle and their Chandra. And now they're max speed. And there's the extra land I needed a while ago. Okay. Let's see what we're up against. Sure. We'll keep that on top. We don't want to mill yet because we know we're drawing a good card. Sure. This game would have been so different if I just used this guy properly. Nice! We got the win. Oh my gosh. Huge. Well, we played our 4 games we said we were going to play. And we even played that bonus game, which you can decide whether I would have won that game. But that is going to do it for this video. Exciting stuff. I do hope you enjoyed it. It was a nice little draft, able to get some wins. Very satisfying. And yeah, I think the deck ended up really good when we had this guy down early. The Necrogent was insane. This card was just game over. We won the game with that. I think having more 2-drops would have been great for this deck. The Tortoise was actually fine. Sky Crash, not so good. I didn't love that. I totally forgot we had the Engineer in our deck. I was like, oh my gosh, this card's amazing. I never saw it. But yeah, Spin Out was really good for kill spells. The Mutant guy, I really liked him. They could never really block him. Raider was good. We didn't really use the Cruiser, and I kind of liked the Wrangler, but I don't know how good it was. Siphon Fuel was pretty solid, but I don't know how good the Gunner ended up being. Felt like we lost every time we played it, but that could just because they killed the Gunner, and killing your 5-drop is pretty good. If you did make it to the end of this video, leave hashtag hashtag speed, because we were all about speed and a lot of our opponents were about speed as well. So leave hashtag speed to let me know you made it to the end. Shout out once again to Wizards of the Coast for the free preview account in the early access event so I could get this recorded early. I do hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you next time.